What's up everybody, I'm Josh, and for the last 15 years I've been traveling the globe and documenting it for both my YouTube channel and my blog. And when you've been through as many airports and border crossings as I have, you develop a very specific philosophy on gear, taking only the things that's absolutely necessary to make your trip and your creativity better. So here are the 10 products that I currently love to travel with. This doesn't include any of my camera gear. I'll make a separate video on that if you're interested. Let me know in the comments, and let's jump in. First off is headphones, and I actually have 2 different headphones depending on the type of trip that I'm going on. For the long haul flights, when I'm going to be in the airplane for a long time, I always take these Sony headphones with me. I'll have links to everything in the description as well. These go right over your ear, and these kind of cups actually almost feel like a suction on your ear, creating this amazing noise cancellation. So whether you're in an airplane 30,000 feet up just trying to watch a show, or you're in an airport trying to get some work done, these create a great quiet environment that allows you to do that. However, I don't love taking them on short trips just because they take up a decent amount of space in my bag, and I'm always trying to be aware of how to make my bag a little bit smaller. So on the shorter trips, like 3 or 4 days, I'll just take these AirPods with me. I'm sure you're familiar with AirPods. You know that these are great headphones. They have great noise cancellation. They're small, easy to throw in your pocket. And then one of the things that I love is they have good battery life, but you can also take them back off and put them into the case, and then they'll charge again. So you can easily get an entire flight out of these, and they have great noise cancellation, making them a good option for when you're going on a short trip and you don't want to pack as much. But regardless, headphones is a necessity for me. I always have a pair of headphones when I travel. Next up, we have a power adapter, and I've tried so many power adapters over the years to find one that I like, and this is the one that I've kind of settled on now. This one's so interesting as it's kind of like a donut, and the power adapter part, it just sits right here in the center, and then you can push out the prongs for wherever you're traveling to, so it's basically can be used worldwide. Nice pull out so you can get a little bit of extra space, and there's a bunch of different USBs and plugs and everything on it. Overall, I just like this travel adapter because it's worked well for me in all the places that I've gone. It's really easy to pack, it's lightweight, you can just throw it in this thing and put it in your bag. But this is my go-to power adapter right now, as it does everything I need it to do in a nice compact size. My next recommendation might be a little bit strange. You might wonder why I'm actually taking the space for it, but that's a travel notebook and a little small printer. In a world where we take thousands of photos and videos on our phone and we basically never look at it again, I've used this to try to force me to kind of think a little bit more about my day and about my travel and write some things down so that I can remember them in the future. What I like to do at the end of the day is I'll come back and I'll be sitting in my bed and I'll find 1 or 2 photos that I like from the day, and I'll print them out with this small little printer. The printer takes no ink, so you don't have to bring any ink. It just uses this specialty paper that has a sticker on the back, so once you print it out, you can actually just stick it right into your notebook. Printer paper is a little expensive, it's around 50 cents a print, but what I've found is it's just a really cool way to kind of document my adventures. So I'll write a little bit of something, take a picture from the day, and then I'll just put it right there into my notebook, and then at the end of the trip I have this cool kind of memento that I can take home with me, and then I can look back on Train Street in Hanoi or whatever it was that we went to. Also, this is a notebook that my wife got me for Christmas, and what I like about it is that once I finish a section, I can actually take this piece of paper out and I can put a new piece of paper in, and I can kind of keep this as my travel notebook, but I don't have to buy another one when it's done. I just have to replace the paper. I found it's worth the amount of space that it takes in my bag. Number 4 is actually my Unbound Merino compact travel hoodie, who's actually the sponsor of this video. And before you say anything, here's a receipt that shows that I actually bought this 2 years ago, and it's been on basically every plane flight and every trip I've been on since then. The big claim with Unbound Merino is that it's naturally odor resistant, and I can tell you from the 3-week trip that I just went on where I didn't wash it once that that's definitely the case. It's moisture wicking and breathable, so it's nice for those warm days, and then it's also temperature regulating, so it's great for those freezing airplane cabins. Also, it's wrinkle free and fast drying, and I can tell you this is true as well because on my last trip to Taipei, I got caught in a rainstorm with just this jacket. It was soaked to the bone. I just hung it up in my hotel, and the next day it was ready to go again. I also love the understated design where there's no visible logos, so it just looks like a nice sleek sweatshirt. You don't look like you're a walking advertisement. I've also added this t-shirt to my collection as well, and when I go on an airplane now, I put the t-shirt on and I put the hoodie, and that is my go-to travel day wear. So if you're interested in checking out Unbound Merino for your next trip, you can scan the QR code here to learn more, or you can click the link in the description. Alright, next up is an Apple AirTag. If you've ever been at baggage carousel wondering if your bag even made it on the plane, this is a great peace of mind for you. You can just pull it up on your phone, you can see where your bag is at, you can see if it's lost somewhere or if it's just waiting to be unloaded. These things are also well priced. You can usually find them for under $25. Sometimes on sale you can find them for under $20, and I throw them in everything, from my baggage to my camera bag to the thing that I hold my passports in. For me, it's just worth the peace of mind to be able to pull up my phone and to see that I have my passports, I have my camera, without trying to rummage around and look for everything. If you've never used them before, check them out, especially if you're in the iPhone family. For me, they're basically just like travel insurance that gives me peace of mind while I'm traveling. Next up is another Apple product, and that's my iPad Pro. If you were to tell me 3 to 4 years ago I'd be traveling with an iPad instead of a laptop, I would have told you that you're crazy. But now for me, on my shorter trips, this is my go-to. It's so much more compact, it's lighter weight, it's easier to use, especially in those tight airplane seats where you're trying to find a little bit of space for yourself to use your laptop. So on the shorter trips, this is my go-to. I love the Magic Keyboard, even though it's pretty expensive, because it allows me to just flip out my iPad and use it like a laptop with a trackpad and everything like this. I also like the little pen so that I can draw or take notes on something, and I can do it in a tactile way instead of having to use the keyboard. I will say for my longer trips, like in my month-long ones or when I'm going to be doing a lot of editing, I definitely take the laptop for that. I edit on this, but only minimally. My big edits I have to use a laptop for. Everything else though, this is my go-to, and I've been a huge fan. Next up is a simple power bank. This is the one that I'm currently using, but I don't have any real connection to it. It's just been the one that's been the most effective for me recently. But with having our boarding passes and our photos and our maps and everything on our phones these days, it's just impossible to not have your phone when you're traveling and to not have it fully charged. Plus, I've spent lots of time wandering around an airport trying to find a plug that I can use, that I can sit at and actually have it be comfortable, and the plugs are broken. I mean, for peace of mind, I just bring this thing. This one's a little bit heavy, but it's nice and sleek, and I can put it in my pocket. Plus it holds a lot of charge, so I can charge my phone around 3 times with it. But you can bring those smaller ones that have one charge or that magnet to your phone. I mean, basically any of them are great. But having a power bank is a necessity for me on trips, and I never leave without one anymore. Next up is another non-tech device, and that's an eye mask. I'm a prima donna when it comes to sleep. I have to have it be dark, and so I definitely always bring an eye mask with me. I like this one especially because of the cups that they have, so when you put it on your face, it allows you to be able to open and close your eyes, and you don't feel that kind of tight fabric on your face, which is something that I really don't like. So if you're picking up an eye mask, definitely look for one with the cupping type design, because I feel like it's just a much better experience overall. But for me, an eye mask is non-negotiable. Whether I'm trying to sleep in Alaska during the 23 hours of light when we were there in the summer one time, or whether I'm trying to sleep on an airplane. I can use a lot of different travel pillows to get sleep, but if I don't have an eye mask, then it's not likely I'm gonna get a lot of sleep on an airplane. Alright, my second to last thing is a deck of cards. I feel like nowadays with travel, as soon as there's any downtime, everybody's just pulling out their phone and kind of sitting there like a zombie. But I've found that over the years, if I have a deck of cards, especially when I'm traveling in a hostel or on a train or something like that, it's been a great way to make friends, as I can just pull these out and I can connect with somebody who's sitting next to me, and we can play a couple games. I can learn a little bit more about them. Plus, with traveling with my children now, we love playing War. Instead of jumping on an iPad and not connecting, we'll pull out a deck of cards and we'll play War for an hour. It's a long time to play War for sure. These are the ones that I normally take with me all the time. They're waterproof, they're easy to shuffle, you can wash them if they get dirty. It's not really easy to play with them if they get wet, but you dry them off and they're basically good to go, which the paper ones, they can kind of get gross if they get wet. What I've started to do is actually pick up cards when I go on trips now, so it's kind of like a little souvenir for me. So this was from my recent Vietnam trip. I picked up these cards, they had pictures on them, so it's fun that when I'm on my next trip or I'm hanging out with my children, we can talk about the things that we've seen while we were playing cards. But yeah, I always have a deck of cards with me, and I think it's a great thing to bring when you're traveling, especially to make new friends on your trips. Alright, my last thing might seem like a little bit of a cop-out, but that's my phone. I still remember the days when I traveled without a phone and how difficult that was. And then I remember the days when I traveled with a phone that wasn't a smartphone, or when I didn't have the ability to use my data when I was traveling, so I had to find Wi-Fi in order to connect to it, so it wasn't an expensive charge. So being able to be where we're at now, where you can grab an eSIM, you can travel with your phone, you can use it just the same way that you use it when you're home. This is probably the number one thing that I can't travel without these days. Being able to have Google Maps and to download them offline, so if you're in an area with spotty service, you can still find transit directions. Being able to just point this at the screen and have it translate for me so I can see a menu in English. Being able to use the camera to capture video. Even for the vlogs that I'm doing, I'll use the iPhone to capture a lot of videos if I don't want to bring out my camera. I can't imagine going back to a world where I didn't have this in the next 10 years. I mean, who knows what this is even going to look like. The things that they're doing with real-time translation with these, I mean, it's not great right now. I tried it on my last trip to Mexico City, but it's going to be amazing. I'm sure probably in the next 5 years I'll be talking about it. Like, I can't imagine life before live translation with my AirPods. So having a phone and just understanding the best apps for travel, that's basically my number one thing that I take with me. All right, so there you have it. 15 years of travel over 25 countries. Those are my go-to travel devices. Now it's your turn. Let me know what your favorite travel devices are in the comments. Even small things that save a teeny bit of time, I'm interested in putting in my bag and testing out. And if you want to see more videos on, you know, what Amy takes to travel with the children or camera gear that I use when I'm traveling, let me know that in the comments as well. That's it for this one. We'll see you on the next one.